Our journey began with a 10-hour overnight flight across the Atlantic Ocean. As we flew over Africa, we saw sights from the sky that were more beautiful than we ever thought imaginable. After landing at the airport in Accra, we felt like we were home. It was a euphoria unlike any other. Our first stop was at Pejuas Valley Resort in the Aburi Mountains. Here we enjoyed each other's company, taking in the sights all around us. We ate, we drank, sat outdoors and enjoyed the weather. And we were immediately introduced to the local wildlife. You don't see peacocks and ostriches regularly in the States. As our first day ended, we looked forward to our naming ceremony the next day. I don't think we fully comprehended what our naming ceremony meant, but once we were there, we began to feel the importance of it as people of African descent. It was about bringing family together, healing the sins of the past, and moving forward. Later that day, we traveled to Elmina Castle, one of the largest slave dungeons during the slave trade. As African Americans, we're taught about slavery, but seeing where the horrors of it began is emotionally overwhelming. Walking through this horror show was surreal. Seeing what our ancestors had to endure during those times was nothing more than life-changing. We eventually ended up at the rainforest of Kakum National Park, where we braved the canopy walks that are over 100 feet high. You talk about scary. Traveling to Cape Coast's Slave Castle was another poignant reminder of the transatlantic slave trade and how Africans were treated during these times. Slaves were placed in cells with no light or air circulation and left to defecate where they laid. And right above them was a Catholic church preaching the gospel. Despicable. Here at the last bath, I feel most of us had a spiritual awakening, and to be honest, that may not be the word to describe what happened here for us. This river was where our ancestors were allowed to bathe for the last time before their journey to the Americas. We felt the pain and suffering that surrounded these waters while there, but we also felt a sense of happiness once we released our burdens. As we connected with our ancestors through our thoughts and prayers, we quietly let them know we haven't forgotten them. We know their story, we are stronger for it, and will never go back. Kumasi was a beautiful city, but I think we can all admit the marketplace was overwhelming. We stayed in the tour van driving through here. After a full day of tourism, we were thrilled to relax in our Airbnb, which was amazing. We had no clue we were getting all the comforts we received, like a chef who made us dessert upon arrival and breakfast first thing in the morning. This was well worth every cent. We ended up at the Kente Museum that morning. It's amazing how you don't know what you don't know. We never knew Kente cloth had a meaning with every symbol. To us, it was just a beautiful piece of fabric. Seeing the process behind making these tapestries was incredible. One of the more breathtaking experiences we had was visiting the Elmina waterfalls. We don't get to enjoy the natural beauties we have in the States often, if not at all, so taking this break to enjoy the wonders of our homeland was exhilarating. While visiting in Adinkra Village, we learned one of the ways modern ink came about. In addition, we learned firsthand the symbolism behind Adinkra symbols and where they came from. Black people have such an amazing culture. Our last stop was at the Menhaya National Museum. While here, we learned the history of the Ashanti people and viewed some of the treasures stolen and on loan temporarily to the museum. On our journey back to Accra, we got to explore more of the city. We ate, played, went clubbing, visited an expat community, went to the mall, a grocery store, and much, much more. As you can see, Ghana has the same creature comforts as we enjoy in the States. In the end, Ghana was about reconnecting, period. It was emotional. We learned, we rejoiced in the people, and more importantly, we were able to be ourselves. We were able to walk and talk as Black men and women without feeling like color determined everything from our worth and status as a people. There was so much peace, so much joy, and so much love in Ghana. After visiting Ghana, we all realized that it will forever remain in our hearts as our home away from home.